Welcome back, everybody. Welcome back to the show. It's your boy, Rico No Suave. Oh, man, I am super happy to be back with each and every one of you today. All I have to say is, everybody, I missed you. And I'm going to keep saying it. Every time you come to the show, I'm going to say I missed you, because I always do here on the Rico No Suave show. But welcome, everybody. Welcome to another great show for each and every one for you to enjoy. Don't forget, everybody, if you're here live with us right now, don't forget to share the video. Let everybody in Abuelita, let grandma know that Rico No Suave is actually here for you guys to enjoy yourself. You know, one thing that I love about enjoying myself is being able to have you guys to participate. But also, if you're waving at the TV, I'm waving back at you. Hello. Yes, it's Rico No Suave. Yes, it is Rico No Suave. All right, everybody. There's another piece of awareness that we need to be aware about. And this is called cybersecurity. It's a jungle out there, everybody. It's a jungle out there. Cybersecurity Awareness Month. You know, me being a techie guy and being into IT, the one thing that has never really taken off was security, you know, overall. And when we talk about security, everyone, it's something that we never really took seriously. Now, we talk about people, you know, like stealing maybe your credit card information or your social security number and things like that. But then we start, you know, evolving into don't give out your passwords, right? And be careful about when you use your PIN number at an ATM. But cybersecurity, everyone, of course, is all about through the internet, that somebody can actually take your information, know what your information is, and then just start spamming and giving your information out to everyone else. Basically kind of like a data breach, where you see some of these companies that actually get hit by hackers and they're not aware because they think that everything is secure. But you always have to be careful from a personal and also from a business standpoint. Cybersecurity, you always want to make sure you are aware of that. And that's, of course, is important for you guys to understand that, you know, if you have like credit cards, there are wallets that you can buy that's anti-theft, that people can scan. And trust me, I know Las Vegas, you know, DEF CON, I learned a lot. Yes, got a big shout out to you when it comes to DEF CON and cybersecurity. And also for some of my team members as well, too. we are always making sure that we are aware of our surroundings and making sure that you want to make sure that you are secure at all times. Try not to go into the whole convenience thing, try to make sure that you're private about what you have, but also make sure that you change your passwords very often and also go from there. So cybersecurity awareness month, something I always love to talk about. Let's get the show on. Yeah, baby. Let's get this show on. All right, everybody. I got to introduce this guy. Hey, hey, I call him. I call him when it comes down to this gentleman here. You've seen him in Grey's Anatomy. You've seen him in General Hospital, 1600 Pen. You've seen him also in I Want to Play a Game. Saw 3 as well, too. I want you guys to put your hands together. I'm super excited for none other than my man, Brett Chapin. Let's go. Yeah. Brett, talk to me.
Hey, Rico. Good
How
to
are
see
you?
you.
Good to see you, too, sir. Good to see you. How you doing?
I'm good, thanks. I gotta give you a little correction though. It's Chapin.
Chapin. Chafin, Chafin,
Yes,
yeah,
sir.
Chafin, Chafin. Yeah, I know we talked about it, didn't we? Chafin,
Right.
right,
We
Chafin,
were saying with the chat with the P thing and
Chafin.
doing all that.
From now on, your name is just Brett.
That's right. I'll go by Brett. That works for me.
Chafin, thank you. Right. So everybody, if you're saying that to the TV, make sure you say Chapin. Make sure I'm the one that actually supposed to be saying Chapin. All right, cool. My man, welcome to the show. I'm super
Thank you
happy
for
to
having
have you here. Big shout out to the publicist, of course, Lisa Rodrigo. Thank you so much for actually having Brett here with us as well. Brett, you ready to get this party started or what?
me. I'm ready. Let's do it.
Let's do it. All right. Before we get started, really quickly, the question I have for you, do you have any shout outs you want to give out to anybody?
Oh my gosh. I just want to give a shout out to anybody that's, supported me throughout throughout my entire career,
Mm-hmm.
and not that they're all listening right now, but, I wish they were.
Yes, sir.
I've been lucky. I think I've had a lot of good people that I've learned from. A lot of good people have believed in me and supported me and um, in a lot of different ways. So big shout out to all of them.
Awesome. Awesome. Big shout out to all you guys that support my man, Brett. I'm not saying the last name, but my man, Brett, that's who we do. All right, Brett, let's get it on. Let's get it on.
All
You
right.
are the youngest of 5, right?
Yes,
And
indeed. Yes, indeed.
being the youngest of 5, what was your older siblings' dreams as they were growing up in Cali?
What their dreams?
Yeah.
Well, I have 3 brothers and a sisters, 2 boys and a girl, and then 2 boys at the end. The first two, my 2 oldest brothers, had their own businesses, working in retail, and worked for many years doing that. My other brother is an actor as well.
Okay.
And then he does a lot of charity work and work with his church and a lot of different things. He has a couple businesses. And, but, growing up, actually, it's kind of funny because he wanted to be a forest ranger, which
Oh,
is completely,
wow.
yeah, completely different than where he went. But I think he was sort of more of into living in the country,
Hmm.
and he ended up doing that. He lives in Texas now, so he ended up getting that side without having to be a forest ranger to do it, I guess.
Oh, wow. That's cool.
Yeah.
That's awesome. That's awesome. I always think about
Definitely.
what's the bear name that the ranger Smokey.
Oh,
What is it?
Yogi,
No, no. What is his name?
Smokey.
Yeah, Smokey the Bear. Right. That's the
That's
ranger.
right.
Right. That always say forest fires. Right.
Yeah, only
Yeah.
prevent forest fires. Yeah.
Prevent forest fires. Yeah, I always think about that. You know what, Brett? The reason why I asked that question because you being the youngest, and I'm the youngest in my family as well too,
Hmm.
and it's 6 of us, and I
So you know.
understand how it feels, man. I understand how it feels to be like the baby, right? The
Hmm.
youngest. But you know what? Also, the reason why I ask this question is because sometimes we look up to our brothers and sisters, right? And we like, man, such a great role model in regards to where you're going and your dreams. and I have to have a dream as well too. Did that also have an effect on you looking at what different, different categories, different things that they wanted to do in certain industries? Did that
Mhm.
also help you as far as making a decision while growing up as well?
I mean, for me, I think I had it in my head really early on what I
Okay.
wanted to do with my life. I didn't, I don't really remember. I mean, I wanted to be a doctor and a football player and a baseball player like all kids, but I think from age 9, I was pretty much set on being an actor.
Mm.
And as far as my siblings go, I my brother who I mentioned before, he went to a lot of auditions with me early on, and he was pursuing that. He was pursuing some vocal things as well. Um, so that I mean, it's always nice to be able to go to an audition with your brother and your big brother,
Yeah.
inspiring and all that. Um, but he ended up going a completely different path in life, which worked for him, and I stuck with this, and that has worked for me.
Nice. Now, growing up, because now we can get the brothers and sisters out the way because we want to see if there was going to be an influence there, which kind of was in some cases because now you're an actor. But during that time, as far as role models that you used to watch on TV, where was your inspiration in regards to knowing that, hey, you wanted to be this? So who was also that you looked up to as far as when it came to into the film world?
Well, I'm a musical theater guy at heart, to be honest.
Nice.
That's always theater is always going to be my first love. I grew
Nice.
up in doing shows and going to theater, and I have a really specific memory of being 9 years old and watching West Side Story, the original movie, and just
Yeah.
being so captivated by it and so enraptured, and just saying, this is what I want to do for a living. This is what I want to do with my life. What a amazing way to spend a day, to be able to do something that you love so much and actually make money doing it.
Yeah.
That was always the dream for me. It was always really, a lot of people they have their jobs and they're chained to desks and they go to a 9 to 5 all day, and that's wonderful, and I think it works for a lot of people, and we need those people.
Yeah.
But for me, that never really worked. So I've really, I think I knew pretty early on that this is what I wanted to do, and I just, I've tried to pursue it. I've had
That's
to
cool.
have, other side jobs along the way to make money.
Of course.
I spent 10 years behind a desk myself working for the state of California,
Okay.
but ultimately this is, what I came back to, and what I've gone to school for. And, my first love is, entertainment and acting.
Let's go. Well, you have
Hmm.
the face for it.
I appreciate that.
I'm choked up when I said that too. I was choked up when I said that because I'm talking to Brett, the man. So, Brett,
Where is he? Where is he?
when it
Oh,
comes
me.
down, huh?
Yes. Me. It's all me. Okay.
Yes, that's
I
you.
was looking for Brett the man behind me. Sorry.
Yeah, that's you, sir. That's you.
All right. Got you.
So, Brett, there is a difference because you brought in theater, and of course, that's part of your passion. Because
Yes.
you're also in front of a camera. There's two different things when it comes to that.
Mhm.
Theater on stage as well, right? The plays, kind of like
Yes.
that West Side Story. And then, of course, you said, was it musicals as well that you were talking about?
Musicals, yes.
Yeah.
And regular theater as well, but musicals were my first introduction.
Awesome. So there's a difference in regards to being in front of an audience versus being behind the camera. What did it
Yes.
take for you to be in front of people? And what was that like when you were actually on stage? Maybe your first or second time of knowing that you're going to be in front of people and there was the main focus on you in certain parts in a group.
Well, for the first show I did, was Midsummer Night's Dream. I was 9 years old, so you don't have any fear when you're 9. There's not a whole lot of nervousness. I think you're not. You don't have. I don't think most 9-year-olds have a lot of thoughts about what other people are going to think about things. They just do.
Sure.
So I played puck, and I learned my lines, and I just kind of went out there and did it. But
Okay.
there is a real difference between film and theater,
Yep.
obviously.
Yes.
There's a certain, like you were talking about, there's a certain energy that
Yes.
you get from an audience that you don't get in film and television. Um, I've heard it said that theater is something that where the entire cast goes through the experience together. They live the experience and they have the ups and downs and the rehearsals, and you really get to bond sort of as a family in a
Yeah.
theater show. And with television, if you're lucky enough to get on a show for a long time or a film for a long time, of course you bond. Um, but I think it's tougher with film and television because you don't have that long process, like
Yeah.
3 4 months sometimes of rehearsing a show, performing a show. Film and television, it can be, you can be in there for one day
Yeah.
and it's over, or a week and it's over.
Yeah.
With theater, um, film is sort of a picture of an experience that you have, and theater is actually living the experience in the moment. So it's two completely different genres, two completely different styles of performance, I think.
Yeah.
Um, two completely different processes, both incredible,
Yeah.
but just you bring a different skill set, I think, to each one.
I do believe that, sir. I do believe that. And when I say I do believe it, is because when I go and watch theater, right? I watch plays and I watch musicals, I'm really honed in to each one of them when they're playing their role. And I
Yes.
think because it's all kind of a mashup of everything as far as what they're playing. Now, someone could be playing the mom, the dad, the little kid, and then you have a group of people come in and just all start singing together, and you're watching each one of them to see if they hit their notes correctly, and if
Yeah.
someone is actually looking at someone else while they're actually singing and seeing how the connection is. I can definitely see where you're talking about of building a family because you're basically putting your family there for that time or whatever length of time of when that show is actually running or that play is running. It does take some good encouragement while you're on there, and I guess it just becomes repetitious as well. So, and I commend you guys on that because for me, I don't know, I might have cold feet, and I love being in front of people. I love being in front of people, but maybe from an
Yeah, I was
MC
gonna say you're
standpoint,
doing. Yeah, you're doing. I mean, you're doing this show. This is basically live theater. What we're doing right now.
Yeah,
Without a script.
yeah, yeah. I'll see if I can sing a song later.
There you go. I'm right here. Go.
We could
I
probably
mean,
do that. We could probably do that later. So,
yeah.
Brett, when it comes to training for like you did it since you were 9, right? This is your love, your
Yes.
passion for musicals. Over time, of course, get into your teenage years, and were you also really active from a theater standpoint through your teenage years as well?
I was.
Yeah,
I went through the conservatory and repertory program at the Laguna Playhouse.
nice.
I was lucky enough to get a full scholarship to that, and that's a very, well-known and well-respected theater.
Yes.
And I ended up being able to do 2 productions there. My second production there, actually, it's a funny story because it came sort of by chance. I had been going through the conservatory and repertory program, and I happened to be walking home from high school one day, and I ran into a director that I was working with in the program,
Mhm.
and he, said, I've been doing this show. It's called The Secret Garden. It's a musical. It's an equity show. You'll be working with a lot of professional actors, and why don't you come down and audition? And I did, and I got the part, and it ended up being this amazing, amazing experience where I just learned so much at 17 years old, and
Wow.
I always think, like, what if I hadn't been walking down the street at that moment? Like, what if I had left school 5 minutes earlier or 5 minutes later? I wouldn't have run into him, and he might not have thought of me for that role and for that opportunity. And
Yeah.
I took so much from that experience as an actor. That, for the last 3 decades, I've taken things from that show that I've learned and used them. So it's kind of funny how things can work out. So to circle back kind of to your question, yes, I did do a lot of theater in high school, and I also kind of squeezed in a working on the football team, so I was kind of busy. I was kind of busy.
Nice.
It was
Nice.
great. It was rewarding.
Let's go. Let's go. That's what I'm talking about. You know, we
Yes.
do we do go through struggles when it comes to people. Like for myself, you know, when I'm going to MC an event and people don't respond to me like I want to, and I want them to actually maybe go to the bar and grab something to drink to loosen them up. When it
Right.
comes to theater, and because you have a specific part that you know that the audience should just be like, oh man, or wow, or yay. Have you ever had a show that the people just did not, they were just like this like sitting there. They didn't want to respond. Have you ever been in that situation?
Yeah. Yeah. I've been in shows that have been difficult, or there's been three people in the audience, or the audience is kind of quiet,
Yeah.
and not quite responding to what you're doing. But at that point, I think you just have to sort of truck through and just do your thing, and not even think about, because if you're thinking about how the audience is responding at the time, you're not really in your role anyway.
I see.
You know,
I see.
um, and it's tough not to. But I try, and if that's happening, I try and not think about it as much as possible, so that way I can just concentrate on what I'm doing and my role. And if the audience responds a little later on, great. And if they don't, let's come back and try and do a better job next time. But I
Brett,
also feel like
oh, go ahead.
sometimes it's not the performance. Sometimes sometimes it is a bored audience. Sometimes it is a tired audience. So I can't blame the actors 100% of the time. But yeah, for the most part, it's on us.
Goodwill Hunting said it's not your fault. It's not your fault. And when we say it's not your fault, because it's not your fault as an actor. You're there to do your job, and if you do it well, it's up for the people if they really want to vibe with it, right? I mean, that's the key. That's the key piece of you being a professional actor, or just on stage, being professional at what you love to do, your passion. Sometimes
Someone.
we go ahead,
Oh, I'm
go
sorry.
ahead. No, you're good. You're
No,
good.
I'd say so many actors have a whole process and a whole thing that they do, and they get very there's a tremendous amount of anxiety that some actors have in auditions and performance, and I think that disappears a little bit with time and experience.
Yeah.
But it can be kind of a tough thing that you're getting up there and you're performing and trying to make it your best.
Yeah, yeah, and I think yeah, and I think that's the hard part of how you feel as what you love to do, because sometimes you could be so passionate about what you love to do and you want people to understand that you enjoy what you love to do, so you want to get that same reaction, right? And sometimes if you don't get that, but I do have a twist to this. Have you ever had someone to actually commend you when you think that you didn't do well?
All the time.
Let's
All
go.
the time.
I feel that
I
same
don't.
way.
Yeah, I mean, I think we as artists and we as performers can be really hard on ourselves,
Yeah.
to the point where it's detrimental. But yeah, I mean, I've walked out of auditions and I've said there is no way I'm ever hearing from that person again, and then an hour later I get a phone call.
Let's go.
And that's the nice thing about this industry. I think you can be surprised, and you never know what you're going to get sometimes. So that's part of the fun of it.
It's part of the angels looking down on you too. Brett, when the angels are looking
Exactly.
down on you, they look at your effort, they look at your style, they look at what they want to see for you to be great, right? And because you went through that since 9 years of age, and then you're through your teenage years, you just been practicing and practicing and practicing just to make sure that you get to where you need to be able to get to. And most people don't have that option to be able to do that sometimes, and to be able to get that type of training, which is a great thing, right? It's a really great thing for you to be able to get that, because then you understand where you need to be in the long run if you have certain plays that you want to be a part of, which goes to my other question for you. there's certain plays that Brett would love to actually be in, and there's some that probably somebody called you and said, "Hey, we would like for you to be in this play," but it probably wasn't the style of my man Brett. Did you ever run into a situation where you had to turn down a play or a role and say, "You know what, that's just not me"?
I've only once actually. I've turned down one
That's a
role in
good
my
thing.
career that I remember. Yeah. I think it's important as an actor to always try and say yes as much as possible.
Sure.
As long as it, fits within your morals and it fits within your safety, then I think it's important to take every opportunity. So I always try to. But there was this one role that I was offered, and I read the script, and it was. I don't know any other way to describe it. It was just bad.
Yeah. Yeah.
It was not a well written script, and it wasn't something that I um, wanted to really do. So I turned down the role, and I don't even know if the film was ever made.
I see.
But yeah, normally I try to say yes to everything, but every once in a while there's those things, or maybe there's an element about the script that you don't like, or an element about the production that doesn't work for you, and that's fine. I think that's okay. We're artists and we're supposed to be taking our art seriously. So if something doesn't fit in with that,
Right.
okay to say no. There'll always be another actor to take the role, but yeah, I do try to say yes the majority of the time.
And that's good, Brett, because this is why you're here today. You know what I mean? Because not
Yes.
only do you say yes, but you also had an opportunity to say no. And being able to say no to something that you don't feel comfortable with just tells you exactly your journey, your path of where you want to be. Right? That's where Brett is right now, right? And because of theater, it's such a, and I've heard a lot about being in plays to be able to help you become that great actor when it comes behind the cameras, right?
Yes. There's a certain magic. There's a certain uh, I don't know. Getting so involved on the stage in the character is yeah. It's a tremendous learning experience.
Yeah,
I'm sorry
yeah.
to cut you off.
No, no, no. You good. You good. You good. Because I think that's kind of a good segue before we, take a quick break. But I think that when you're actually have been training for quite some time in theater in front of people, another good thing is, Brett, and I'm sure you did it because I feel that you have. When you finish and you go out, I guess you guys go out to the lobby and you meet and greet, the audience and people. Do you
uh-huh.
sign? Do you sign autographs too and kiss babies?
I don't know if I've ever kissed a baby, but I've signed a few autographs. One of my favorite shows that I did was Into the Woods in Santa Barbara. That we actually did it at a dude ranch, and
Okay.
so people would come in and stay at the hotel and stay at the ranch and ride horses all day, and then they would have a barbecue at night, and we would perform the show for them.
Oh
And
wow.
yeah, it was really a lot of fun. It was something I don't think I'll ever experience again, but it was great. I wish I could experience it again. But
Yeah.
we would go out to the lobby and sign the programs for the kids, and the kids are of course enraptured by our characters. Snow White and Cinderella are there, and I
Nice.
played Jack from Jack and the Beanstalk. So
Nice.
yeah, that's a really that's one of the best things about doing this is being able to have an effect on someone, little kid or an adult, even to make someone love you if you're the villain, or love you if you're the hero, hate you if you're the villain, laugh,
Yeah.
cry. Being able to bring out that emotion in people, I think, is one of the best things about this industry. It's a very powerful thing. It makes you feel good when you can get people involved in a story like that.
Yeah, see, that's where your passion is, though. Brett, that's where the passion
Yeah.
comes out. And then people start giving you credit, you start being creditable, and people start loving exactly what you love to do. And then the energy is just there. Um,
Yes, it's almost a spiritual energy on stage. I gotta say,
yeah.
I that particular production, I remember just looking up at there's one particular performance, just looking up at the lights, and looking up at the lady playing my mom, and I really felt like the character. You can
Wow.
really get lost in it sometimes.
Yeah. Yeah. Next thing you know, like when you're doing a play, when you start and when it's over, you're like, oh man, it's over already. Right?
Yeah,
It's crazy.
I
It's
got to go
crazy. It's
find
kind of
another
like
theater.
this show, what we're doing right now, because it's almost over. But we got
Already?
no, not yet. But we got 30
Okay,
minutes.
good. I'm having fun. I like 30 minutes.
We have, and that's the cool thing about what I love to see from you is that you love exactly what people see of you as being great over time of you doing these plays, right? And doing these musicals and just loving what you're doing as well. Last question before we take a break.
Yes.
What was your biggest audience from a musical that you performed in front of?
I did Rent here in Los Angeles at the Founders
Wow.
Center, and we did, I think it was 6 performances. We sold out almost all of them, and that one I think holds 2,500 people. So that was a pretty big one.
Ooh.
Yeah,
Ooh. Let's go.
and that production with the music and the energy and 2,000 people out there. I mean, it was unforgettable.
Man, doing rent. I'm telling you, if you did 6 shows, that should be able to pay the rent for a few months, hopefully.
I I would think so. I would hope so. And again, it's theater, so you never know. But
Right. That's
yeah,
true too.
I know that I had a great time, and I still keep in touch with some of the cast members from that show, and we're still kind of a family. So it's
Yeah.
great.
That's awesome. Everybody,
Yeah.
we got my man Brett, and not just in the loft, but he's here virtual, but I feel like he's here with me. Brett, we're going to have a really great time, but we got to take a quick break. We got to play a few commercials here. And, everybody, I want you guys to sit back. My man Brett is with us, actor and producer. It's all about the musicals right now and theater. We'll be back 30 seconds. And we're back, everybody. And we're back with none other than my man Brett Chapin. Did I say it right?
You did.
Let's go, man. Let's go.
Very
Man,
nice.
I kept saying I had to repeat myself. I was like, listen, I gotta say Chapin right. I gotta say Chapin right because that's the only way we do it right here.
Long A. Long A. I
Yes,
appreciate it.
sir. Yes, sir. Brett, are you having a good time?
I'm having a great time.
Let's go. Let's go.
Yeah. We're
This is
talking
the
some art.
second.
We're having a good time.
Man, I'm excited, man. I'm just super excited. That's all I gotta say. I'm just happy that you're here. Cause we gotta transition to the real acting part. Now, don't get me wrong, I love musicals. I love that, but you're in some of my favorites, right? That I've seen you in. And of course, I want the world to be able to see you in just in general of what you have coming up. But you became an actor in film, movies, TV shows. I need to get into Grey's Anatomy. We got to talk about 1600 Penn, and we got to talk about General Hospital. First of all, Grey's Anatomy,
Do it.
I didn't think that was ever going to be over, right? I think that was like the longest running medical show that I mean, you just get glued to it. But
Still
how
going.
did you get your parts there at Grey's Anatomy?
I went through a casting director and got signed up and auditioned and got a small role as a detective on the
Yeah.
season finale. I believe it's episode 10, or no, season 10, episode 24.
Okay.
And It was great. It was the episode where they had a bombing at the mall, and a lot of patients were coming in with different injuries, and my partner and I had to investigate uh, the person that we thought set off the bomb, and we're questioning him, and he passes out. There's a whole thing. I won't give it away, but I got to work with Ellen Pompeo that day, which working with her is just a master class in acting. She's phenomenal.
Awesome.
And then my partner was Rick Worthy, who is from the movie That Guy from That Thing. He's done everything, and you would know him from everything. You just might not know his name.
Sure.
But he's a great guy, great actor, and yeah, that was a phenomenal experience. I've done about 30 episodes of Grey's as a background actor, and it's just been really great. They are a finely tuned unit over there. They know exactly what they're doing, and everything's on time and done in a very exact order. I mean, they've been doing it for 20 years, so they they have it down by now. But
Man, that
yeah,
was
it's
awesome. That's
a great
awesome.
time.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah. I was super excited when I saw you in the clip when y'all was at the hospital.
Yeah,
And
that's fun.
then I saw you and it was just you was just in the back end. I was like I was waiting for you to say something, but I know that he was just directing you in regards to say, hey, do this or hold this, And I'm like,
Yeah,
come on,
my
Brad.
partner was in charge. He was the one asking all the questions. I was the strong silent type in the background, I guess. But yeah, that was a lot of fun.
That was awesome. That was awesome. When you knew that you got the part itself, or let's just say when you auditioned for it, did you feel like you got the part?
Are we talking about Grace? Yeah, I did because they told me right away.
Oh, did they?
Actually,
Okay.
on that one, yeah, that was a quick one. Um, but there's been other auditions, of course, where I'm not sure, or I think I didn't get it, and then I get it, or I think I did great and I didn't. So it's just all depends.
That is cool. That is cool.
Yeah,
I mean, that's to be able to know right away that you're going to be on Grey's Anatomy. That is such a great IMDb credit for real. Like,
it it is.
oh man,
I got very lucky that day. Um, they're a good team over there, and it's still going on 20 years later. I think they're in season 20 now, and they actually shoot on the same lot as General Hospital, so I saw them today shooting. They're still
nice,
doing the thing. Yeah,
nice. Well, that goes into the next segue of General Hospital.
yeah.
So I kind of like that. So tell us about how did you get involved as far as with General Hospital, which been on forever. So how did that all come into play for you getting a role, and what role do you play in General Hospital?
So I originally, 3 years ago, I came on and played Roger Barstow, who was the town record keeper. It turned out later on he was doing some shady things and uh, not being as scrupulous as he should have been.
Sure.
But he actually died. He was knocked out and gassed with poisonous gas. So I don't know that he'll be he'll be coming back, but it
Oh
is a soap
no.
opera. You never know.
Oh
You
man.
never know.
Okay.
Um, and then I've come back to play various roles since then.
Okay.
Some background stuff. I've done the played an attorney, and today I did something else that I'm not allowed to talk about. But
Yep. Yep.
um, yeah, it's that is another finely tuned machine. Very professional group over there, and the show's been on since I think Kennedy was president. So they
Wow.
certainly know what they're doing over there, and they certainly have everything worked out. Well, not everything. I
Yeah.
mean, there's all some things that can be difficult, but yeah, they for the most part they know step A to step B to step C.
Yeah. I have a friend that I actually met when I was down in Hollywood, and I want to say that she was in General Hospital. I want to say she was. Her name was Kate Linder. Kate
Kate
Linder.
Linder,
Yeah.
um, is she on Young and the Restless?
Young and the Restless. That's what it is. Yes. I knew it was
Yeah,
like one of those soap operas. Yes. Young and the Restless. Yes. I met
Kate's
her.
wonderful. Yes, she's
Yes.
played Esther on that show for,
Yes.
oh my gosh,
Yes.
30. She was
Yes.
playing that when I was a kid watching that show. She was.
Yeah. That is awesome. I knew she was in one of them. I'm like, and that's why I brought up the name because I know it was a long running, soap opera, right? And it
Yeah.
was super awesome. I'm so glad that, yeah. And that's so cool that you got this part and you play different roles as well. As an actor, in General Hospital, and then also like shifting to, when you was at Grey's Anatomy, what is the science behind Brett when it comes to having certain roles? Do they pick the roles for you, or are you allowed to say, "Hey, I would like to play that role. I think I'll be a good, actor for that role in General Hospital."
It depends. Some roles I'm booked through on an amazing booking agent that I have, that kind of just sort of tells me when and where to show up for work. And
Yeah.
then I have a wonderful manager who will send me into auditions, and that's the audition side of it.
Okay.
And those are the ones that I can choose, or I can choose with my manager together.
Awesome.
And those are the speaking roles and the musical roles and the more uh, prominent roles, I guess you could say.
Yeah.
But
I like
I
that.
see cast as a cop a lot. I guess I have a policeman's look, so I get cast as a cop and a lawyer all the time.
Or you were a detective.
That's true.
That's-
That's true. See, there you go. It's another cop role.
yeah,
I
I mean,
think I
you definitely will
have
make a
reels
good.
somewhere on my Instagram of like 20 different cop roles, just all spiced together.
Hey, hey, that we need a lot of. We got Chicago PD. So
Right.
there's
That's right.
definitely a lot. There's definitely a lot. That you could definitely play. Well, you definitely have the face for it. That's for sure. And that's super awesome. Which role do you like to play the most? Is there? I mean, what is one of your favorites that you love to play as an actor?
Um, you mean type of role or
Yeah,
specific role?
like let's say type of role. Type of role.
Type of role.
Yeah.
Uh, it's interesting because if you would have asked me this question 10 years ago, I would have said drama, and that's something that I really love, and that's always been my go-to.
Yeah.
I love playing a nice, meaty, dramatic role that I can really get into it and get involved and work with the other actors and all that. But the last few years, I've kind of been on a bit of a transition. I've been trying a little more comedy and a little more fun roles, and
Okay.
I think social media has brought that out in me a bit, and
Good.
just showing a little more of my personality. And I think our individuality is what makes us bookable in this industry. I think we all have our individual things that we're good at and our strong points, and I think it's knowing those, knowing your brand, and knowing what you enjoy and what you might excel at is important. So I've been trying to transition a little bit more and do a little more comedy, a little more fun type of roles, and that's been great because to me that's a lot harder than drama.
Yeah, I mean, especially when people are looking at the roles that you play, right? When people see the roles that you actually play, and if they're more serious role, and then they see you shift to comedy, and it's like, oh, that's the first time I ever saw something like that with Brad. I got to get used to that, and you get used
Yeah,
to it yourself, right?
it can be. It was. I think it was almost off-putting when I started to do it for people a little bit because like I'm just not used to this. I'm not used to him being irreverent or speaking his mind or being funny. But it's. I guess they've gotten used to it now because I don't seem to get too many bad complaints about it.
Awesome. I got a few
Yes.
people that's checking in with us. Of course, we're having a great time with my man Brett. Hey, Brett, there's a question from Beatrice Davis. She said, if he could team up with any actor, who would it be and why?
Um, it would be Paul Newman. Uh,
Nice.
I think he's just amazing. I won't have the opportunity to work with him, unfortunately, but he's always been somebody that I've really respected as an actor and admired. Um, I love Al Pacino. I gotta say he's probably my favorite actor. Just everything from Dog Day Afternoon to The Godfather. That
Yeah.
would be a dream pairing. Uh, if we're talking more modern actors, I think Johnny Depp's incredible. I think he'd be
Oh man, that's one of my favorites. Yeah.
yeah,
Johnny
yeah.
Depp.
I remember him back on 21 Jump Street back in the day.
Uh-huh.
He was talented back then. Like you could tell back then he had a little something.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
yeah, I've been lucky to work with a lot of phenomenal actors and always looking to work with more.
Yeah, I like Johnny Depp when he was playing Pirates of the Caribbean, and also from that comedy. Talking about transition, like he had a movie that's not really coming to my mind, but I have it in my head where he was an author in the attic,
The
and
Ninth Gate.
that one, yes,
Yes,
more
that's great.
serious, and then he flips to Pirates of the Caribbean where it's comedy. That right
Yeah,
there was like, oh, I'm like, now that's good. That's good. And I still like him as an actor. So that is
he's
super cool.
phenomenal, and that's really cool. You brought up The Ninth Gate. That's I think I think Polanski directed that, but he was phenomenal in that movie, and that's not as well known a movie. So I think everyone should see that one, The Ninth Gate.
Yep. Everybody should definitely see that movie. I mean, that was definitely there. You know,
Can I
go ahead.
confession? Rico?
Yeah.
I've never seen Pirates of the Caribbean. I need to see it. It's time. I know. I know. Show's over. End the show. It's done. Get this guy out of here. But I gotta see it. I know. Everybody talks about
Oh
it. And
man, no, I couldn't believe it. I couldn't believe it. Really gave me. Oh my god. I mean, and you being the
I know.
movie buff and you being an actor, I would think that. And you love Johnny Depp, I would for sure that you at least seen one of them. But you never seen any of them.
No, that's the one series that I've missed. So
Here
I
is homework for you,
okay.
Brett.
Good.
When you have time, you need to go and rent, however you need to do it, Hulu, wherever you need to look for it, or even on YouTube TV. I think they have it too. You gotta at least see the first one. The first one, I
Okay.
love it. You gotta watch. That's homework for you. I'm gonna check in
Is
on
that
you.
is that the one to start with? Is the first one?
Very
That'll make
one.
the most.
All
Obviously.
you have to do is
Yeah.
Pirates of the Caribbean. The first one will come up, and you should be able to just go ahead and watch it, Brent. Man,
Perfect. I'll
got
do it.
hey, we gotta take another break because time is flying by
Mhm.
fast. Everybody, I'm gonna say his last name again, Brett Chapin,
Yes, sir.
on the show with us today, everybody. Oh, wait, everybody, it is time. Hey, Brett, take it easy because, my man, I got to talk about something called NASCAR moments. Everybody, this is NASCAR moments. Yeah, you already know. Hey, one of the moments that we actually love is all about fast cars, who comes in first, second, third, fourth, fifth. But today, everybody, in this NASCAR moment, the fans are first. You, as a fan of NASCAR, everybody, we have time to earn points, get rewards, fan rewards, everybody. You can earn points when you watch on TV, purchase tickets, play fantasy, and just shop for different merch, everybody. It's all about you and the point system for you to be able to get some great gear or just get into the point system in general because NASCAR is just giving out great gifts. They might even give you some free tickets, right? To be able to go and watch your favorite race car driver, NASCAR. Everybody, that is another NASCAR moment. Let's get back to my man, Brett Chapin. Let's go. Let's go. Hey, Brett, you still there with me?
I'm here. I'm here.
Man, NASCAR is taking over and they're like, hey, Rico, we love the NASCAR moments. I hope they love me when I'm ready to actually start driving one of those cars too, because I need to get in one of those. I need to get
You
in one of
gotta
those.
you gotta get out to the track.
I
Don't
do.
they have tracks like NASCAR Experience where you can
Yep.
go drive a car?
I think so. Yep. I think they have that. Yeah, I think they have that as well too. Yeah,
That'd be
they
fun.
have that as well. Also, somebody else is checking in. My man Rob is checking in. He's a bodybuilder. I got to use him as security. One of my guys, his name is Rob Rough Cut Brown. He said, "Hello, everyone. Thank you so much for tuning in. Thank you so much." My man Brett is here with me. And Brett,
Hey,
time is
Rob.
always flying by fast, man. Always flying by fast.
Always keeps going.
Always. Let's keep it going. You actually were in Saw 3. I need to talk about that because that's one of my favorites. I want to play a game. How did you get your part? What part did you play in Saw 3? Because I know I remember seeing you. What part did you play in Saw 3?
So Saw 3 was not quite an acting role. That one was in the director's cut. There's a feature called Looking For,
Oh,
and it's a tutorial with the makeup artist
yep,
from
yep.
Saw, who is just phenomenal. I mean, look at what he did on the movie. And so he takes four of us and he takes regular old me and makes me look like I have a gunshot wound to my head.
Ooh,
He did it in about 30, 45 minutes, and just with the baby rice cereal and the blood gel and everything, and
let's go.
just it's really cool to watch the change in the process.
Let's
He put
go.
um he put a big ring on someone's mouth, and I think he gave another girl a stab wound, and it's really cool the way they do it. It's a really more scientific process than you would think. But I learned a lot just watching him.
Did you watch Saw? Did you watch all of the Saws as well? Saw movies?
I've seen the first three. Yes,
Okay, 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 okay.
love. I
Let's
want to play a
go.
game.
Let want to play a game. Let's play a game, baby. That's awesome, man. Congratulations on that. That's
Did
super,
you
super
know that it
awesome.
was him on the floor? Oh, I just gave away the movie. But did you know it was him? Like, I didn't know it was
No,
him. I was so
no,
surprised in the last scene. I don't know. I'm sorry. I
nope.
just had to ask real quick. Yeah, I didn't know either.
Did not know. Did not know that was him. All along that he was there on the floor. That was the most craziest part of like,
What
no
a
way. It wants you to watch more, man. Oh man. It was just awesome, man. The
you
people that
never think of
directed this, the actors, all you guys that participated was awesome. Was awesome for that. Woo! Man.
so much on that.
Man, we could talk for hours. We can talk, Brett, me and you can talk for hours. Hey, you know what? Nancy Otero is checking in. She says, good evening, Brett. She says,
Hey,
good
Nancy.
evening. Yes.
What's up, Nancy? Good
Let's
evening.
go. Let's go. Let's go. All right.
Thank you for coming in.
Man, I wish I had more time with you, but time fly by fast when we're having fun, Brett. We're
Does
having fun. We're having a great time. There was a talk show. Okay, so let's talk about because we're shifting kind of, another talent that you had. There was a talk show, and there was a name of a talk show that you did. You did a little bit of broadcasting as well too, right? As far as being a talk show host, was that correct?
I did from 2010 to 2015. I hosted a show called La La Land Talk.
Okay.
Um, our tagline was "By Los Angeles Artists About Los Angeles Artists." I created the show basically to showcase artists from the local area. There's a lot of shows that interview a lot of different actors and musicians and other types of artists, but I wanted my show to be focused on just Los Angeles artists because there's just so much talent out here in LA that goes unseen sometimes. So
Yeah.
we did that for about 4 years and 200 episodes, and it was so much
Wow.
fun. We got to talk to everybody from Spike Lee and Bill Pullman to lesser known artists. We had a psychic on once. We had a relationship coach on once. Just anybody that worked in any sort of art category, we were welcome to as long as they lived in Los Angeles. And I hosted for 2 years with a wonderful co-host named Nettie. Then we brought on Daisy Egan, Broadway winner. She was my co-host for the third year. And the fourth and fifth year, I had an amazing co-host named Dorothy Dillingham Blue,
Nice.
and yeah, that was a real learning experience and a real great humbling opportunity as well. Just be able to see what these artists are doing and be able to shine a little light on them. It's real gratifying.
That was awesome. That's awesome, man.
Yes.
I had to bring that up because I'm a talk show host and I love talking to other talk show hosts as well too, like yourself
You
in your
know.
past. And then because you have so many talents as far as being an actor and being in theater and film and all that great stuff, I think that's such a great thing to actually have when you can break off to be a show host. Now, also because there's actors, of course, that's being game show hosts as well as MCs for events because you're great speakers as well and being in front of people that just brings out even more opportunities for not just from a profit standpoint but for another connection to make with an audience. So that was super cool, and I like the way you focused on the artists in LA because there is a lot of people that do come in LA trying to make it big, and I was already making it big too. So super
Yeah,
cool.
it was fantastic to give a lot of people a platform.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And I mean, we would talk about other things too, current events and things like that.
Yeah.
But mainly we're focused on the artists, and that was what was most important to us.
Nice. Congratulations on that, man.
Thank,
Congratulations. You
thank you.
know, we're down to our last 5 minutes of fame around here, and I'm having a blast, and I definitely got to have you back on the show. But I got something else for you
All right.
because you're a gem of the world, right? We call you a gem of the world. We give our gems of the world a gift.
What?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. That's for you.
Thank.
This is for you.
That's awesome. I'm
This
ready.
shirt, this shirt is going to you. And the reason why it's going to you, Brett, is because you have done so much as far as from the age 9 getting into something that you love. But of course, your family is kind of that influence as well in there as far as encouraging, but also knowing that being a young one like myself, the youngest of 5, there's always dreams that we love that we see other people are doing, and then we go for it, right? With you,
Yeah.
of course, being able to go through the training and being able to get gigs like that because someone's watching over you and seeing how great you are as a person and also as an actor to be able to perform in front of people, it just continues to grow. And when you start getting that agent and you start getting a publicist and people really believe in your work, people start to see exactly what it's all about for you as a person to be able to get a job just like that. Grey's Anatomy, we want to hire you right away. Then it starts trickling to other great things, General Hospital, getting different roles. So being that gem of the world for us, we look up to people like yourselves because you inspire us to be able to continue to do more, to do great things, and we appreciate you. So this shirt here is our appreciation to you. Hopefully you wear it well, only $1.99, but hey, don't tell nobody else I said that, right? This is for Brett. This is for you,
Love
sir.
it. Thank you, Rico. I appreciate it. And thank you so much for having me on the show. It's a lot of fun.
Yes, sir. Thank you. And I got to have you back. I got to have you back, confirm, real solid, because I might have to interview you in person. I think that's the next thing. We might have to do an in-person interview. What do you think?
That sounds good. Am I flying to Chicago or are you coming to LA?
I'm coming to LA. I'm going to come to
All right.
LA. Me and the crew. Me and the crew come to LA, and we're going to do some great things together.
Let's do it. That sounds great. Come on
Oh,
out. Come on out.
let's go. Brett, before we get you out of here, we have to put up your social media because we got to let people know more about you. So, everyone, the first one, of course, is his Instagram. Make sure you go to Brett. Say your last name.
Chapin.
Put the Chapin in there, baby. Put the Chapin in there. Red Chapin, baby. Put that red dot Chapin in there. I was like, I better make him say it. Chapin. Make sure you put that in there. That's gonna go in my. I'm gonna have a dream about this. All right, and the next one, of course, is his website, brettchapin.net. Please make sure you go ahead and check him out there, everybody. He is great. His website is awesome, and you'll be able to see some of his clips in the media section. Make sure you go ahead and check him out there. It's all great things, everybody. All great things. But Brett Chapin, thank you so much for being on the show.
Watch General Hospital on November 25th through 27th.
Let's go.
You'll be able to see some good stuff.
Let's go. You know I'm going to text you, right? I'm going to text you. I'm going to text you once I see it. So
right.
Once I see him, like, that's my boy Brett. I know him now.
You're going to like this episode. There's some crazy stuff happening in this one. You'll like this one.
Let's go. Everybody, put your hands together for none other than my man, Brett Chapin, in the house. Thank you so much, Brett. Thank you so much for being on the show, my man. You take care of yourself. Thank you so much.
Appreciate you.
Yes, sir. See ya. All right, everybody, we got to get out of here. It's your boy Rico No Suave. That was my man Brett Chapin. And you know, hey, we play around with words around here. And I'm so glad that I finished off saying his name. Awesome. Brett Chapin. Yes, my man is awesome. The guy is so cool that hopefully you got inspired by this interview here, everyone. And once again, we want to thank you guys so much for your support. We got to put up our social media, everybody, before we get out of here. Our social media, starting off, of course, with our website. You already know, www.riconosuaveshow.com. Make sure you go ahead and check out everything about us there. We have great highlights, and then you can look at the past interviews as well. Here's the next one. Kaboom. Instagram at Rico No Suave Show. Everybody, please make sure you go ahead and follow us there on the Rico No Suave Show and Instagram. Here's our next one. Facebook, Rico No Suave Show. Like and love everything we're doing. Just go continue to like and follow. Our next one is a good one as well, too. If you love YouTube, follow us on YouTube, Rico No Suave Show. Make sure you subscribe to our YouTube channel, everybody. Hey, we're continuously building there. And we got a few more. It's our Mixcloud, because Mixcloud, it goes into a podcast where you can hear nothing but the audio, everybody. Make sure you go ahead and check us out on mixcloud.com/Rico No Suave Show. And to our new one, Red Coral Universe. Red Coral Universe. Check out our past interviews, everyone, on Red Coral Universe. Look up Rico No Suave Show. You'll see a season 1 there of our past guests. Go ahead and enjoy. You know, go ahead and enjoy. Even watch through the ads. Watch the commercials. The commercials are the bomb, too. Everybody, we got to get out of here. We want to thank you guys so much for being here on the Rico No Suave Show. And we're going to have more guests for you. But until next time, we'll end off the show just like this, darling.